So welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Steve Kiyama and I'm the owner of Action Coach Western Fairfax. Today we're going to speak with Jim Lawrence about his business and his journey into business ownership, challenges, some of his best practices, and share a peek into what it's really like to build and operate a business. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we drop new conversations like this. So Jim, welcome. Thank you very much for being here with us today. If you don't mind, give us a brief interview of your background and tell us a little bit about your business.
Thank you for having me, Steve. I appreciate it. My business is a direct marketing agency, and we specialize in fundraising for nonprofits. So the majority of our clients are nonprofits. And our very high level job for those clients is raising them net income. And I actually got into the business about 20 years ago. It was the agency was originally founded by my father. And at the time, I was working in the dot-com world in the late 90s in Northern Virginia. And I saw that big corporation world go up and down. And I wrote it on the way down and I said, "Hey, Dad, do you have a job? Maybe a small company is more to my liking." And he did have a position in the list brokerage division. So I got to work doing that, like I said, over 20 years ago and kind of gradually worked my way up. And my dad decided to retire a few years ago and I bought him out. So here I am.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's a good piece of the story. So let's move into what makes your business so special. What is it that's unique and why do your customers choose you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think what makes our business unique is that we're very focused on a particular niche. As I said, we're a direct marketing agency, but we specialize in fundraising for nonprofits. So it's a pretty unique slice of business we offer. And then within that slice, we have a specialty on helping religious nonprofits. So we've narrowed it down even more. So when someone comes to work with us, they see that we have a real deep experience in this direct marketing fundraising for nonprofits. And we know the particular issues of religious nonprofits. So they come to us for our experience in that realm and our understanding of the unique challenges that many nonprofits experience.
Fantastic, fantastic. Speaking of marketing and kind of pivoting off of that, what has been a number one marketing strategy for you so far?
It's hard to answer number one because I think what we generally help our clients with are a couple different things, and you have message, which is
Mm-hmm.
on one hand, what are you going to say about
Mm-hmm.
what makes your nonprofit unique? But almost as important are the audience of who you're speaking
Mm,
to. So if you are speaking to their existing donors, you're going to address them in a certain familiar way.
mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to acquire new donors, then it's really important to understand who you're trying to speak to.
Yeah.
So then we have a whole part of our business which helps them understand who's the addressable market for your nonprofit.
Yes.
Um, and then the third thing is how are you going to approach those potential donors or
Yeah.
existing donors? So is it going to be on an offline channel, which is generally direct mail, or is it going to be an online channel, which is email or landing pages, for
Okay.
example? So in terms of what's important, I have a hard time picking out one thing because I know it's really this combination of things that
Yeah.
allows us to do what we do best.
Oh, fantastic. And that's true. I can't think of any business for which that isn't true for. So
Sure.
that's fantastic. Thank you for that insight. So we've spent some time talking about your business. Let's talk a little bit about you. You've shared a little bit why you went into business. How was the transition? When you transitioned from corporate to small and then thought about buying out your father's business, how was that
Yeah.
transition process?
Well, it was very refreshing when I first went to join my father because I had been through, let's see, I'd been through a company that shut down North American operations,
Mm.
another company that shut down completely, went bankrupt, and a third that was struggling to stay afloat. This was, remember, this was in the dot-com world when
Hmm.
things had been very well for a long time and then they went horribly wrong.
Went
So
crash. Yeah.
when I came to a small company, I realized that the upside that these large corporations have, on the positive side, and the negative side, this chaos.
Yeah.
We didn't have that in a small business, and the flexibility. I was able to help my father kind of jump into online fundraising
Yeah.
because one day he said, "Let's go for it," and then I just did it.
Yeah.
Didn't have to go through a lot of bureaucratic channels. So that small business mentality of being able to pivot and being able to take on
Yeah.
things, at the drop of a hat. I found that rewarding.
Yeah.
And then over time, it became a natural thing to buy him out. I was, working in the business and had helped it reach a certain level of success, and it was natural that he would pass it on to me, and so that it was kind of a natural progression.
Awesome. So where do you see the business in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, I see it growing. I
Mm-hmm.
see it, us helping our clients find
Mm,
new ways to
mm-hmm.
innovate and raise money.
Mm-hmm.
And I see us trying to meet the new challenge of a ever-changing technology
Mm,
to address fundraising.
mm. Yeah, and that is a moving target, isn't it?
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. There's always
Yeah.
something new coming up, and it's our job to kind of find out what works and test, and make sure that we are putting the direct marketing methodology we know works behind new advances in technology, and
Good.
making sure that we prove them to that the ROI stands up, and make sure we can navigate them for our clients.
Yeah, that's an important component. ROI. Fantastic. How would you describe your leadership style in business, and has it evolved as you've gone along?
It definitely has evolved. I think my leadership style, we're a very small company, so there's not multiple layers of
Mm-hmm.
management.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I look for in an employee is someone who can be self-motivated,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need a lot of oversight.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I try to present that from a management style is help them understand that I trust them,
Mm-hmm.
and that I value their ability to make decisions on the fly.
Good.
Uh, and that's evolved over time. I realize less is more sometimes, uh,
Sometimes. Yeah.
and helping people understand that I've got their back, so they can make decisions on their own, and I trust them. I'm going to support them.
How's that with retention? Has that helped to retention?
It has. I think we put a lot of importance into understanding who we're bringing on a team before we bring them on.
Mm-hmm.
And so once we bring people on, it's my job and goal to retain them. If I have a good employee, the longer I can keep them and keep them happy,
Yeah.
the better they're going to do for our clients. And so we have found that we have a small team of people who have a really long tenure.
Good, 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 good. That's a fantastic insight. A lot of people don't catch that. That is good. All right. Oh, well, I want to kind of follow up with that. What key criteria have you used to recruit people and choose the people that you actually hire on?
Well, the first thing is going to be some level of expertise in the type of work we're bringing them on for.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no replacement for experience.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking for people who know the business. As I mentioned, direct marketing, fundraising is a niche vertical.
Mm-hmm.
So ideally, if we can add someone to the team who's had some deep experience in that type of work,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first thing I'm looking for. Because on a
Mm-hmm.
small team, you want people who can hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first thing I'm looking for is, hey, do you have some deep experience in the area we're looking to add? And then beyond that, you have to add someone you feel has integrity,
Mm-hmm.
their top trait.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so once you're able to get the sense of someone and they have integrity, then combined with that expertise, I think that's really important.
Yeah, I agree with you. That very much so. Cool. All right, we've certainly covered a lot of ground in our conversation today. So for those watching, I highly encourage you save this and come back a few times for an additional watch. There's been a lot of nuggets here that are actually really helpful. So as we begin to wrap up, I got a few rapid fire questions. So quick top of the head answers. This is
Ready.
fun. What's the key to success for you?
Hard work,
Mm-hmm.
integrity,
Mm-hmm.
keeping your clients' goals top
Mm-hmm.
of mind.
Mm-hmm. Good. If you met a new business owner this afternoon, what would be your number one piece of advice for him or her?
Um, well, maybe what I just said, you know, align your company's goals with your client goals
Mm-hmm.
so that they're never in opposition to each other. And if you do that,
Mm.
you're going to succeed.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I think that's a very good one. What's one book you're reading now or have read recently, especially if it's one you would recommend?
Well, I just started Man's Search for Meaning, so
Mm.
I can't give you a review on it yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Um, I'm reading The Stoics by Marcus Aurelius.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not so much a long form book. It's lots of little nuggets,
Mm-hmm.
but that's really good for keeping perspective in
Mm-hmm.
business.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of helps keep you grounded when things seem to be going a little crazy.
Awesome. If you had to choose only one area of your business you could immediately improve tomorrow, what would it be?
Can I say profit?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yeah, I think the search for profitability,
Mhm.
especially the last couple of years when costs are kind of rising,
Mhm.
both on back end and front end. I think everything you can do to figure out how to maximize profitability, which again is both for the company and for the client.
Mhm. Yeah, well, if you're not profitable, it's hard to keep serving clients, isn't
True. This is true.
it? What is most inspiring to you today?
My family,
Hmm.
my immediate family, my wife, my three children, as well as
Mhm.
my, parents and brothers
Mhm.
and sisters. They're the reason for doing all of this. So
Mhm.
keeping them, those that I'm directly responsible for caring for, making sure they're well cared for and that they're doing well, all around as people is inspiring to me. And, you know, making the rest of the extended family proud. I
Awesome.
think that's what inspires me.
Awesome. All right. Last two questions. How can others learn more about you and your company, and how can they get in contact?
Well, the website would be the best way to learn more about the company, which is
Perfect.
lawrencedirect.com. And there's a contact form there. They're welcome to reach out to me directly via LinkedIn.
Fantastic. That's it. Jim, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your insights. There were several really good nuggets in there that I think other business owners could get some real value from. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Steve. I appreciate you having me on.